Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project and Magnetic Reversal News, bringing you a magnetic excursion update Thursday, October 24th, around 9 p.m. Mountain Time 2024. An X3.3 major solar flare blasted off the limb of the sun just about 24 hours ago. Could be a glancing blow on the 26th, and we're keeping a close eye on the tropics as things seem to be heating up. Keep calm. It's boom time. New details emerge ahead of a late October storm in Colorado. Yeah, there could be whiteouts. Snow guns are blowing, temperatures are dropping, and skiers and riders are caught the first glimpse of winter in Colorado last weekend as, well, Wolf Creek opened on Tuesday here in our neck of the woods, the first ski resort in the state. Early forecast models suggest it'll be another good shot across most of the state for snow later this week, so stay tuned for the full forecast. The La Niña forecast is being adjusted downwards and has implications for our winter. Here is that pattern that we look for. We look for it to go from warm, El Niño, to cold, that's the blue, La Niña, but it appears as if it's going to be just a short blip, maybe La Niña for just 2 or 3 months. Nothing spectacular, but it will be through the big snowmaking months of the year. And that could be less snow for the Southwest in general. Now we're watching the Caribbean for possible tropical development next week, and we kicked off the show with that model. This model is coming from the 12Z, which is the last model to move from the GFS, and it's not showing really any good news. It's showing a major tropical storm developing in the Caribbean and moving up here into the Gulf. But the 18Z has cleared that up, thank goodness. Let's take a look at the 18Z now. So good news on the 18Z is that this tropical storm development is going to move over Cuba here, or maybe the Lesser Antilles, and affect the Bahamas only, and then move off the coast. But these are early models, guys. This is November 3rd, 2nd and 3rd. So these will change, but the fact that they're showing hurricane development here off the tip of Florida, both models, bad news for the long term, especially if the 12Z model here, if these types of scenarios continue, take a look at this. This is not good news, especially for those peoples in the Big Bend region. So we're going to keep a close eye on this tropical activity as it develops, because these models are going all over the place. So in about 6 days, we will know exactly what's happening. Here's the full forecast. Fire weather conditions in New England, record heat across the southern U.S. Elevated to locally critical fire weather conditions will continue across portions of southern New England today. Record heat is expected in the southern plains, into portions of the southeast into the weekend, as the meridional flow is king, thanks to the magnetic excursion, the weakened magnetic field, and the breakdown of the jet stream. Frost and freeze warnings out for Colorado and the central U.S., so heed the warnings and bring in those sensitive plants. A quick look at the GFS model to piss off Al Gore. We're going to look at the total accumulated snowfall through the first week of November. It's going to be a November to remember. Take a look at this. New England and the Pacific Northwest will get a spattering of snow Sunday into Monday. And then next week, heavy snow moves down into the Rocky Mountain front. Take a look at that. Holy macaroni. By the end of October into the first day of November, we could see heavy snow totals on the Sierra Crest, making the first significant snow for the Sierras for the season. And that will be the beginning of November there. More and more snow products showing up on the GFS. It literally looks like Canada is going to get buried, but they always do. But I remember 20 years ago when Al Gore said our children would not know what snow was. Apparently, Al is a fraud, and he is in his hole. Shut up, Al! Get in your hole! Al Gore gets no bunt cake tonight. Seismic update. An uptick in activity, especially in the Blot Echo region, in Tonga, in Indonesia, and even a flurry of activity in California here, in Petrolia. This is an area that gets normal activity like this, but we do have some aftershocks, and it has been rumbling in Petrolia since the initial 4.4 kicked off. Aftershock of 4.0, followed by a 3.7, and they are rumbling in Cali, right at that Cascadia fracture zone, which I'm sure is quite scary, in my opinion. Interesting rumbler in the center of Canada, 4.6 in the Grand Prairie, maybe raising some eyebrows, but overall, moderate uptick in activity and an interesting quake in Canada. Worldwide volcano news for the 24th. Dukono to 9,000 feet. We've got activity at Popo today to 24,000 feet, pretty significant. Sangay, 20,000 foot puff. Ibu to 7. Liwa Toby, 8,000 foot puff there. Nevado de Ruiz on the list. Take a look at this. Svartsvengi. We're talking the Reykjanes Peninsula, the ongoing multi-year eruption. Well, the uplift continues here. Take a look at how high it is. But they are saying now that a new eruption could begin as early as the first week of November. Semaru, who knew? Now you do. 14,000 foot puff. Popo to 24. Fuego to 15. Santa Rita, 13,000 foot blast today. Nevado de Ruiz, 21,000 foot boom. Ibu on the list. Sangay to 20. Sabancaya, steam and gas, puffing and passing. Popo to 24. Swanazima, another puff today. Copihu, copped a few, but there was no eruption. Sangay to 21,000 feet. Svartsvengi in the Reykjanes Peninsula continues to swell. Fuego to 15, Semaru to 15 as well, Nevado de Ruiz, volcanic ash puff, Dukono to 9. Wow, what a list. Wrapping up worldwide volcano news. Space weather for the day is quite spectacular with that moderate duration X-flare blasting up to X3.3. This is due to some new regions that have turned around the disk. Active region 3837, 3872, 3869, and 3871 are making a huge, take a look at that, sunspot region. If we look at the latest HMI intensity, this sunspot array looks, well, quite scary. We could be seeing some spectacular flaring from this over the next 7 to 10 days. So the next 7 days will take this directly facing Earth, maybe 7 more days until it passes around the disk. So we've got 2 weeks of fun activity coming our way at Solar Max from the sun. 3-day geomagnetic forecast showing a short-lived geomagnetic storm on the 26th, maybe just getting above G1, and that is from the glancing blow of the X3.3 moderate duration. Most of the plasma is moving north and south, and a small halo eruption was seen. I will show you that halo blast on LASCO C3. I'll even blow it up for you. Can we do that? Yeah, let's take a look at the halo eruption here. Boom. You can see some of that plasma moving back out this way. Yeah, that means a glancing blow for you and I. This is the solar wind model here over at ISWA, and it shows just a little clippity clip maybe on the model, nothing significant. If we take a look over at the WSA Enlil spiral and the latest iteration of that solar wind model here, we will see on the 24th early, boom, that X3.3 blast off from the sun, and it will be arriving the same time as a coronal hole might be influencing us. So that's going to pop us up into G1 geomagnetic storm, but nothing significant. Now, the most powerful gamma ray ever seen in galaxy center was detected by scientists. And if you don't know what I mean by galaxy center, it means, well, the center of our galaxy, where there's these wispy threads and plasmoids and other explosive bubbles. It's completely fascinating. And the more technology we get, the more we can see and the less we know. What's happening in this region? Oh my goodness. So the deeper we look and the harder we fall. Although our galaxy's quote unquote supermassive black hole is relatively placid, that's the galactic center. I don't think it's a black hole, in my opinion, and many people don't as well in the cosmological fields. But the center of the Milky Way resides a non-placid place, and we're showing it to you right here. Its extreme location is rife with what can be best described as shenanigans on an epic scale. Now, it can add a powerful cosmic accelerator known as the P-Vatron to the list of japes. I just read that. I don't even know what that means. An observatory high in the mountains of Mexico has reported repeated emissions of some of the highest energy gamma rays ever recorded from a single point close to the galactic center. The nature of this source, named HAWOC J17462856, is unknown. But over a period of 7 years, the high-altitude Water Chenkov HAWOC Observatory recorded 98 gamma-ray events with energy levels exceeding 100 tera-electron volts. And that means, well, one thing, folks. Yeah. Cosmology is dead, and the universe, wait for it, is electric. And those are plasma filaments before your very lives and eyes. A small asteroid hit Earth's atmosphere just after its discovery, just the 10th of its kind, and all of them coming in just recent years. This is how ill-equipped we are here on Earth from actually detecting a catastrophic empire-ending impact. We don't have the technology. We can only see them coming hours before they hit, and then they hit. We don't have any time to prevent the strike. The good news is that most of these asteroids are small rocks, but there are big ones in our vicinity that may be coming to hit us at any moment. In fact, a city killer asteroid is one of just 4 to graze Earth's orbit today. NASA announced that an airplane-sized city killer asteroid will skim past Earth today, and it already has, thank God. One of 4 hazardous space rocks to graze our orbit in less than 12 hours. Hours of powers. This one, dubbed 2002 NV16, the cosmic boulder is slated to pass within minimum distance of 2.8 million miles of our planet, and that was at 11:47 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Good news is this baby didn't hit. Bad news, the next time one is coming right directly at us from the sun, we won't see it. It will hit, and there will be lots of dead people. Speaking of dead people or dinosaurs, a once-in-a-lifetime find, a dinosaur tail was discovered trapped in amber. Now, this story has been buried over the last 8 years because it proves what you're looking at right here on the screen. These are feathers on the tail of a dinosaur. Yep, chickens are dinosaurs, just the remnants. Now, good news, a 75-million-year-old swamp dweller among the largest late Cretaceous mammals ever found was just discovered. And because of this baby here, the Helicola, right there, you see him there, eating a nut, apparently. The reason, well, the picture you're looking at here has everything to do with the fact that I'm making this podcast. If it was not for this mammal, humans would not exist. So, after the mass extinction of dinosaurs some 65, 67 million years ago, it's negotiable. Mammals made it through, but dinosaurs did not. And because creatures like this made it across the threshold, it allowed mammals like hominids and apes to develop. And here we are. Absolutely fantastic. More fantastic news from archaeology as archaeologists discover 8,000-year-old house in completely an extraordinary discovery. Archaeologists have unearthed the remains of an extraordinary prehistoric house that dates back to 8,000 years ago. The rectangular dwelling was discovered by researchers with the Australian Academy of Sciences, or OAU, in Svinjkuka in Serbia, which is located in the Balkan regions of southeastern Europe. According to the experts, the find provides insights into the origin of sedentary communities in Europe and sheds light on the continent's early agricultural societies. Now, societies like this were thousands of years before Sumeria, and it is completely debunking the narrative that, well, we didn't cultivate crops or animals, when this couldn't be further from the truth. The people living at this site 8,000 years ago were cultivating crops and animals. How do you like them apples? It appears as if we don't know nothing about nothing. And more evidence is flooding in that, well, our current timeline on past history is garbage. More garbage is the fact that most people don't know that 1257 CE, yeah, that's just about 800 years ago, the earth went boom. A VEI 7 eruption from Mount Samlas in Indonesia, black in the skies for up to 3 years, caused massive deaths. Almost 30% of the population died off just 800 years ago. 100 years after that was the Black Death, and more misery and more deaths and another bottleneck. And all this information, all this scientific information has only come to light in the last decade or so. So, knowing that information, how much do you think we actually know about our history? Nothing. But the good news is that Lee and I will be breaking all of this information down this weekend on our radio show at Revolution Radio in Studio B, 12 noon Mountain Time. Do you drink enough water? Well, you should. You should drink at least, I would say, 3 liters a day at minimum. You know why? Because you're made of water. And if you're not taking water in and you're losing water every day, you're killing yourself. The more water you drink, the longer you will live. And if you want to know how that works, the link to this article will be below. Another way to save your ass is to stop buying food from the supermarket, which means the super polluted destruction machine, in my opinion. The center of the supermarket is the most poisonous region. The outer perimeter is covered with pesticides and other gross stuff. If you can grow your own food, make your own animals, you'll be 100% safe, but that's hard to do these days. You can find your own local farmer, buy local meat, source it locally, and you can start to learn how to grow your own food, but most people aren't doing that. Did you know that 125 years ago, 90% of us on Earth grew all of our food and raised all of our meat? And now, just 1%. You know what that means? In the next catastrophe, 99% of the population is dead. So why not learn how to fail at growing food and maybe save your ass in a catastrophe? Our affiliate, Birdie County Seeds, aka the Native Alliance of Seed Keepers, still has about 18 varieties of seeds for just $1 a pack. These are open pollinated heirloom seeds, the best seeds to grow your own food and save your own seeds. And if you buy 25 packs or more, shipping is free. Add coupon code ORP2024 for an additional 10% off, and the seeds pay themselves. So support our affiliate and support your preparedness. And drink water, for goodness sakes. And also, if you're filthy rich or just want to get some merch to stick it to the man, we've got new merch in our merch shop. We've got ORP shirts with Shut Up Al in the back. We've got Al Gore in a glacier. And we've even got Magnetic Excursion ongoing. Please support the channel and piss off your friends by buying our merch. Have you seen the poly market? This is just moments ago. The divide between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris is increasing exponentially every moment. That doesn't mean you don't have to get out and vote. We need this too big to rig. That means all of you Patriots need to get out and vote for Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, and the entire Patriot ticket. And that's a boom. We love each and every one of you. Please hit the thumbs up. It helps with the algorithm. Become a Patreon. Support the work we do. Watch all of our podcasts in one place, commercial free. Buy the seeds. They're the cheapest on earth. And drink water, for goodness sakes. We love you. Be safe. And that is a boom.